to know, don't seem to be using all the trends that are out there and looking to manipulate it all to their betterment.
Do we have another barista? Hello, Dublin, are we here? Please
I've been watching all the finals
the
since the very
Barista Champion of
beginning,
Indonesia!
It becomes better and better.
Yoshua Tanu!
Now let's see what Indonesia has to offer.
So, if we can just get some judges, here we come. Head judge, Mr. Gwilym Davies.
Hey, man. How you doing? Thank you.
2009 World Barista Champion, so he knows how to judge.
I really hope that he uses
The last
some
European
Indonesian coffee at
champion
least, because I've been seeing some
that
interesting
your
coffees
business
coming out of
cards? How you
Indonesia
doing?
lately, and they have big potential for sure.
So, Joshua, we'll let the judges get in.
They have the altitude, they have tons of micro-regions, there really is all potential.
Up to the right, looks like a...
Yeah, it's just a matter of processing well, picking well,
So,
finding the
Joshua, just
right
give them some
varieties, and
instructions,
so on.
to the technical judge, let them know what's going to be
I took the
happening.
Q-graded ones, and
This
the
is
best coffee
completely normal
we're tasting there was from
protocol, and we've seen
Indonesia,
more and
tasting
more
like
from
pink
this
grapefruit. It was
baristas.
incredible.
They want the judges to work and react in a specific way, and it's their job to let them know how to do that and to give them the best opportunity for the performance.
It's also one of those divisive coffees. You meet some people in coffee who just adore Indonesian coffees, and some people really
So,
don't
Joshua,
like it at
when
all.
you're ready,
Yeah,
you raise
I
your
think
hand
that's
to
more
start
of
the
the
time,
traditional style, though,
and,
those kind of earthy,
what your music started before, you know what to do.
baggy
You've done this enough
coffees
times
that
now.
we're seeing less and
Over
less
to you.
of in the specialty, top
Can I
specialty
get the
ones, I think.
music, please? Good. Time. I bet most of the coffees that you'll be having today, or even yesterday, were single origin espressos. What's up with that? There hasn't been much love lately for blended coffees, especially in competitions. Now, we all know that there are many problems that do come with blending, and all of these problems usually make it harder for us to create that perfect espressos that we always strive for. Today, I hope to challenge these preconceptions about blending by using two of my favorite coffees. And I'll be telling you more about these coffees while I'm grinding, but for now you can look in the booklets in front of you. We'll have more information, and also will be a guide throughout my whole routine today. And the small cups to the left are for your dirty spoons later. Thank you and welcome. The coffee to the left is a Finca Morgan Estate. This coffee originates from Volcan, Panama, and is of a geisha varietal. It is picked at an elevation of 1,750 meters above sea level and uses a wash process. Picked of only the ripest coffee cherries and washed using natural spring water from that region, then dried for a period of 14 days in a 3-tier raised African bed. 2 days on the very top, 6 days on the middle row, and another 6 days on the very bottom row. This to highlight different times and temperatures of the sunlight to bring out the different complexities in citrus, floral, and a very clean cup. Now, the coffee to the right is a Finca El Mirador. This coffee originates from Huila, Colombia, and is of a Castillo varietal. It is picked similarly at the height of 1,700 meters above sea level and is naturally processed. Picked of only coffee cherries that has a Brix degree of 25 and above, and then dried for a period of 43 days. 8 of those first days in direct sunlight for faster drying, and then 35 days later to be moved to a parabolic drying facility to be dried for stability and continuity. And this Brix picking is what creates a lot of that berry sweetness we'll be tasting, and also a nice silky smooth mouthfeel that's quite lingering in the finish. So for now, let's go ahead and flip to the next page for you guys to read on a little bit more about my methods for today, while I cold press these coffee cherries that I brought from Indonesia, hand carried. These are for your signature beverages.
Interesting to see that it's actually using Indonesian and Colombian coffee. Untypical Colombian coffee from Huila is natural processed, which is not very common in that region or in Colombia in general, as it's sort of famous for only exporting washed coffees. And a lot of times the coffees were refused when they were naturally processed.
Those coffees have two opposing characteristics, and the idea today is to create espresso blends that are clear, complex, and unique. Usually, when we're roasting for blends, we'd always try to find a similar agtron color first, or a specific roast profile designed for each of these coffees. However, these methods will produce a lot of different particle sizes when we grind them, and this will create a lot of inconsistencies in the extraction rates. To overcome these problems, I've used a process I like to call solubility blending. Firstly, in order to do this, we do have to find the best roast development for each of these coffees. as this step allows us to find the most delicious representations of them. However, most people would stop at this step, which is great if you're roasting for single origin espressos. But when blending two coffees together, you might actually make each other worse. Secondly, the real magic happens is when we adjust that roast profile so that the solubility levels are exactly the same. And with a solubility match, we can then extract the espressos optimally by using the same grind settings and within the same brewing time. For this to happen, Andy Todd from st.ali roasted my geishas at 21% roast development and the Castillos at 20% roast development to just make sure that they both have the same solubility levels. And thirdly, and finally, with the solubility match, we can then pre-dose, pre-blend, and grind all the coffees using the EK specific to the needs of each of the three courses that we'll be having. So, and this step gives us tremendous flexibilities and complexities in all of the cups that we'll all be tasting. So let me get started with the first course, which is the espresso course, and I'll be right back, guys.
Coming over.
So, sorry, hold on 1 second. Grab this. Let's go ahead and flip to the next page to see my blend profiles for this first course, as well as tasting notes. In this first course, thank you, I decided to blend 70% of that geisha and 30% of the Castillo. Using solubility blending at this ratio, I'm able to take in the specific amount of sweetness as well as a silky smooth body to create a perfect balance between the two to give me beautiful coffees. By moving this ratio up or down of at least 5% would create an imbalance in the dominance of each of these coffees. So I found that this ratio is practically the only ratio that'll give me that balance of grapefruit acidity, orange, low to medium weight body, and a nice crisp finish with a silky smooth mouthfeel. I'll be dosing these coffees at 22 grams, and extracting 40 grams of espresso. This will give me that perfect extraction of 18.5%. And when you do receive these espressos, I'd like you to stir for 10 seconds. Let the coffee cool down so that the palate can adjust easier to the aromatic values of this coffee. And then again, I'd like you to find flavors in the beginning of grapefruit, oranges, and jasmine tea. With a low to medium weight body, silky texture, and a nice crisp finish. Enjoy. Enjoy. Enjoy, guys. I'll be back with the milk beverages in a bit.
Dublin, let's show Indonesia. We appreciate espresso.
I like the white coffee serving it. I know that it will enhance acidity at least. Yeah, it probably cools down the espresso a little bit faster as well.
I think they're the not neutral Mino cups, from what I can tell. They're the ones that have no handles on them. It is definitely of note that to see an origin country using a coffee that's not from that origin. That is a rare thing to see, which I think speaks to much of national pride. But
If you guys are ready, you can go ahead and flip to the next page to see my blend profiles for the milk
pretty
beverage,
interesting.
as well as tasting notes.
Yeah, and in some producing countries,
In
it's
this
not even
course,
allowed to
I
import
specifically
coffee from other
blended
countries.
80% of that Castillo and only 20% of the geisha.
Do you know if that's the case in
This
Indonesia?
to bring out
No
a lot
idea.
of the intense berry sweetness from the Castillo, but still keeping a nice tea-like structures from that geisha that we love. I'm extracting the same, dosing at 21 grams, but this time a shorter shot of 30 grams of espresso to intensify that sweetness and flavors, to To combine balance with my milk even better, however, when using a regular fat content milk, I find that the high fatty contents sort of dominates in terms of the tea-like structures, and as well makes the sweetness unclear. So I had to find a way to get the lower fat content of 2%. And I did this by blending 2 different milks together. 1 part of that regular full cream and 1 part of a low-fat milk. This giving me a nice, ideal content, 2%, to bring out a lot of the flavors in these milk beverages. And in here, you'll be able to taste flavors of blueberries and honey milk tea. It's really beautiful.
Something more. Something more.
Enjoy. Yeah. Enjoy.
There's a place I go to when no one knows me. It's not lonely, it's a necessary thing. It's a place I made.
Enjoy.
Find out what I made of. The nights I've stayed up, counting stars and fighting sleep. Let it wash over me, I'm ready to lose my feet. Take me off to the place where one reviews life's mystery. Steady on down
Enjoy
the
it.
line. Lose every sense of time. If you understand the way that's my heart. Day to day I'm blind to see and find how far to go. Everybody got their reason, everybody got their ways. We're just catching and releasing what builds up throughout the day. It gets into your body, it flows right through your blood. We can tell each other secrets and remember how to love.
Whenever you guys are ready, you can go and flip to the next page to see my blend profiles for this last course. In this last course, I wanted to revert back to that unique blend of espressos that I find complex and quite balanced by using again 70% of that geisha and 30% of the Castillo this time. And I also wanted to continue on by using solubility blending as my main focus in the signature beverages. So I freeze-dried 2 items, orange and blueberries down, at different times and temperatures to create the nice solubility levels that are the same. So I'll be adding 7.5 grams of oranges, to remind us back of the citrus complexities in Finca Morgan Estate, as well as our espressos. And I'll be adding 2.5 grams of blueberries to remind us back of that Finca El Mirador, as well as in our milk beverages. Then I'll be using 10 grams of water to just help open up the flavors and extract even better. And finally, I'm using 5 grams of these coffee cherries that I cold pressed earlier. This to add and enhance the body, creating silky and smooth mouthfeel to get an overall balance in this beverage. And I'm using this magnetic vortex stirrer because I wanted to get a fast enough RPM to help dilute solids, but slow enough to not create thick foam that you would in a blender. And this coffee cherry is special because I brought it from home, my home country of Indonesia, from the West Java region of Malabar, to showcase that out of all the coffee cherries that I've tried from before, this one had the smoothest and silkiest mouthfeel that works the best with this beverage. And what I'm taking out here is just a magnet. Don't worry about it so much. And so in my signature beverages, I'd like you to find, again, flavors of that grapefruit, followed by oranges. Hints of blueberries this time. Thank you. And a smooth and silky mouthfeel. There you go. Enjoy.
Incredibly calm performance here by Yoshua.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Let's have a round of applause for the signature drink!
Can be apparent in everything that we've done today, especially in all the courses. And I hope that you guys enjoy my beverages. Thank you so much. Time.
Let's give it up for the Barista Champion of Indonesia, Yoshua Tanu!
Very nice.
Wow.
Very
Well
composed
done.
and
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. We should come closer to the camera because I keep getting told off for being too far away from the camera. That was fantastic. So much going on there. So many things I'm going to ask you about.
Okay.
First thing I've got to say is, where did you get those glasses from? They're beautiful.
Crate and barrel.
Yeah, they're very, very pretty indeed. I love talking about coffee. I love talking about people's coffees and why they choose them and what they are. Can you, I'm going to say something very uncool in specialty circles. I love Indonesian coffees. I think they have great character and they're great gateway coffees for people to get into coffee.
For sure.
So tell me a little bit about your coffee and how you came to find it and use it.
So usually with Indonesian coffees, at this moment it's harvesting. So either I get a really fresh crop or a really old one-year crop that wouldn't work so well in competitions especially. So I've chosen these two who, because of their harvesting period between January and February, it's just the right amount of time for the greens to rest out and bring out a little bit more flavors for each other. Yeah.
And you used a Colombian natural as well.
Yes, I
So
did.
what was the inspiration for that?
When I first tried it, actually, I really tasted a lot of the berry sweetnesses in this coffee, and I thought that it would work well with milk, and I chose it specifically for that, actually.
So you work at Common Grounds, st.ali?
Yeah.
Yes?
In Indonesia, so.
Tell me about that, what's the scene there, what's the vibe like in working for the company there?
I mean, it's great. Sala and Ross, they help out a lot when coming back to Indonesia, and st.ali really opened up the market to especially coffee in Indonesia, and it shows that there are a lot of things that we can learn, but a lot of things that we can also adjust in terms of having it there that is different. Incorporating Indonesian coffees to st.ali and Common Grounds.
So in Indonesia, is there a specialty coffee scene as such? Are there coffee shops that are doing really good coffees?
Yeah, there's a really good scene right now, and it's been an amazing year, or the past 2 years actually. A lot of coffees have been grown, coffee shops have been grown, and sorry.
Yeah, please, let's not upset the judges. We want to keep them happy.
Right, thanks.
Guys, can we have a round of applause for our judges, please, who've been working super hard?
Thank you so much. Thank you
That's
so much.
not a round of applause, come on!
Yes, a very composed presentation there from Joshua. Indonesia not traditionally a great barista competition.
If you were
team.
looking for some clothing wear,
he's
where
definitely
would you go in this show? Would you
great
maybe go to
exception
the
here, and
merchandise
a really
store
strong
and get
performance.
something really lovely like this?
Yeah.
I can see you all want one. It's these are in the merchandise stores. You can go and buy them. It's just through there. You can also buy your barista party ticket. See, I'm a good salesman. This is my job, is to sell things.
Oh, for those of you watching online,
So,
the scores are
did
posted
you have problems getting all of your
online all the time. The top
so
score
much equipment,
possible
so many things on the table.
can be 719
how many
points.
bags did you bring with you?
And that's because they removed the technical judge, so it's slightly lower than it used to be. And the top rank right now is Australia. Has been actually on the top rank since yesterday, I think.
Yeah, Hugh Kelly from Ona Coffee, so the same stable as Sasa Sestic, and really strong performance. Then Butler again very strong.
Yeah, 2.5 points behind.
Yeah, I start to feel for the people that are in
crazy. And
8th,
this is the
9th,
amount of
10th
work that goes
position now
into
because
barista competition.
they're not very
That's the
safe.
kind of,
So many things happening.
only the 12 best
I'm
scored
sure
ones
you've
go
got
to
a
the
team of people
semi-finals.
behind you.
There's a lot of scores that hasn't been updated now. For instance,
Yes,
Charlotte
round of applause
Malabal.
for Team
It's going to be
Indonesia
quite
there.
exciting to see in the
Well
next
done, guys.
hour or so.
I
what's
saw
going
you
to
got
happen
some
on the top
supporters
12
over here
ranking.
too.
Yeah, over here also.